So let's start off with the gunshots. That's the press release that was sent out on the log. This is the last aggravated assault, but this happened Friday night about 7:30. This was outside an apartment complex in the 900 block of North Cliff Avenue. So the reports are still coming in. I didn't have a chance to find the detective to check with him, so I don't probably have all of the information at this point, but I believe what happened is we had two different people actually had two different cars. One car had 4 people in it that we believe. The other car, I think it was just had 1 person in it. At some point, these cars ended up running into each other in the parking lot. The driver of the car, the victim, got out and then heard some gunshots, and then people took off running. There are some surveillance cameras at the apartment complex, and so they were able to get hold of them, and that was a big key piece in trying to piece this together. But they were able to find some witnesses to this, and again, it was more along of just putting everything together. The person that was driving the other car, he was found near Rice and Cliff, and once we kind of figured out his involvement, he ended up getting arrested for accessory to aggravated assault. So the car that he was driving, somebody inside that car pointed a gun out the window, and I'm not sure if it was fired then or if after. I think it was after the crash happened that it was fired several times. There was a gun that was still found inside the car, so the people in that car, that suspect's car, took off running, and they left behind at least one gun. I don't know if they had another gun with them. Sounds like we've got some possible names on who those other people are, but we're still waiting to confirm that, and obviously still investigating it. So the one person that was arrested, his last name, let me get that pulled up here. There it is. Last is, I'll spell it, Tuopeh. First is Steven, Steven. I don't have a middle name, and he's 25 from Sioux Falls.
And so he was the driver of the car with 4 people in it?
Steven was the driver of the car with 4 people in it, and it was somebody inside that car had pointed a gun out the window, and then we believe that it was somebody that had been in that car when they got out, fired the gun, we think, into the air. There wasn't any damage that was found. There weren't any injuries from anybody either.
So no injuries, no property damage?
No property damage from the bullets, just the 2 cars that were damaged. And no charges relating to that. I don't think that was intentional.
No charges related to the crash?
Right, and it was on private property, so there wouldn't be any tickets with that. But
you guys have any shell casings at all?
I didn't see anything in the report. I don't think they did, but let me just check one other thing. Well, there's some different shell casings that they collected as evidence, but they're all different sizes. So I'm not sure if that's related to the shooting or if they were, I don't know, if they were just found. And what I have here doesn't say where they were found either, so I don't have a concrete answer for that.
What was the age of the victim?
The other driver is, let me get that. The other driver is 20 from Sioux Falls. Still looking, yeah, I mean, there's more work to do on this, to try to figure out exactly what took place, and I don't know if we know if there was an intended target, and if there was, who that was, or if it was just something where they were firing a gun. So we've still got more work, like I said, more work to do. Okay, nothing else really big with the other aggravated assaults. We had a few domestics and people threatened, but nothing real serious. The arson, that was, no arrests have been made on that, but that was at an apartment in the 3800 block of East 12th Street. It appears that the renter of the apartment set that apartment on fire and then left. There were some other people that were in the building. Everybody was able to get out safe. We did find that person, and he was taken to the hospital. Sounds like he was probably going to be there for a couple of days. I think it was smoke inhalation was their main concern. So no arrests or charges at this point. There certainly could be some in the future, though.
So the person who was hospitalized was the suspect?
Yes.
What time is that at?
That was Sunday morning, around 8:30 a.m.
Do you know how he started the fire?
No, it does. The report that I have doesn't say how the fire was started.
Any other information, age, or anything?
Yeah, I can give you his age. He is 38, from Sioux Falls. The burglaries, really nothing big from those. There are quite a few storage units that were entered, but they're all different locations. No arrests on those. Some other houses were entered or attempts. The disorderlies, quite a few reports on there. The only thing, I guess maybe of any type of interest would have been Sunday night. This was around 11:30, 11:45 p.m. We had a guy that was walking around naked. He started off near 11th Street and 2nd Avenue and then ended up near 8th Street and Main Avenue. I'm not sure really why. He didn't really give any reason for that, but he was arrested for public indecency. And do you want his name?
Mm-hmm.
His last name is Berhe, B-E-R-H-E. First is M-E-R-O-N, and middle is F-I-S-H-A-Y-E. And he's 23 and a transient from Sioux Falls.
Drugs or alcohol involved?
It doesn't say anything in the report. Let's see, yeah. The report's pretty short, actually, but he didn't have any clothes on at all.
Did you guys ever find his clothes, or
No.
did you guys get calls in about it, or did officers?
No, somebody called it in. I mean, there was at least one call. The other disorderlies, some trespassing, some reports, obstruction, nothing real big out of those. The embezzlement was a car that was loaned out. Family offenses, nothing big from those or reports. Forgery and frauds I didn't have a chance to get to. The indecent exposure, this was Sunday night, or I'm sorry, Sunday morning. Just about 11 a.m. This was inside an apartment in the 1700 block of South Cathy Avenue, K-A-T-H, or Katy, I'm sorry. I'm seeing letters. 1700 block of South Katy Avenue, K-A-T-I-E. I'll get that out. We had a couple of people that were in the stairwell. They were going down the stairs, and then they came across a guy. The victim said he was a black man, around 5'8" in his 40s. He was wearing a kind of a longer shirt. As the woman, it was a woman and man, as the woman passed by, he pulled his shirt up and exposed himself. He didn't have any pants on. And then as she passed by, he pulled the shirt back down, and so the guy just saw the suspect just standing there. Anyway, he left. There's a possibility they thought he may live in that apartment building, but they're not sure, so we weren't able to find him. And nothing big out of the larcenies. Didn't have a chance to read them, but didn't hear of anything. Same thing with narcotics. The rape is a report. No arrests on that. Robberies. The first one, that was Friday afternoon. That was about 6:45 p.m. at 6th and West. We had a guy that was at a convenience store there, and another person, our suspect, came up to the victim and asked for some money. The victim offered a small amount, and the suspect wasn't happy with that amount that was offered, and he ended up punching the victim. The victim fell to the ground, and then the suspect ended up leaving. So not much for description on that. He said he was a Native American man in his early 20s. That's all we have for a description. The other robbery that happened Thursday afternoon, it wasn't reported till Friday morning, but the victim said 3 guys jumped him basically. They punched him, kicked him, took his wallet, and then left. And that one I don't think we had descriptions. Let me double check. Yeah, I don't have any. It says 3 unknown men. The sex offenses, the only one out of that, most of those are reports. We did have one that was Saturday, about 12:45, and we had a couple of people. Somebody saw a man and a woman, and the woman didn't have any pants on, and both of them were passed out. This was in the alley in the 200 block of South Summit Avenue. And when the officers got there and woke them up, they ended up finding some fresh graffiti, some spray-painted graffiti that was there, and both of them had spray paint on their hands. So they were both arrested for intentional damage to property, and then the woman was also charged with indecent exposure. Do you want their names? Okay. The woman, her last name is Dion, D-I-O-N. First is Shauna, S-H-A-U-N-A. Middle is May, M-A-E. And she's 31, transient from Sioux Falls. The man is, last name is Lunderman, L-U-N-D-E-R-M-A-N. First, I think it's Dace, D-A-C-E. Middle is Lee, L-E-E, and he's 36 from Sioux Falls. And simple assaults, didn't hear of anything big from those. Nothing suspicious with the unattended deaths. Vandalisms, I didn't get a chance to get to those either. The weapons violations, most of them are gunshots. So the first one, that was Sunday night. That was near 22nd in Cleveland. We had reports of gunshots. No damage was found. No shell casings were found on that one. On Sunday, about 4 a.m., there were gunshots near 18th and Williams. And there were shell casings that were found in that area, but no damage was found. The next one was ended up being a DWI, and the guy had some brass knuckles with him, not threatened or anything like that. And then the last weapons violation, that was the one we talked about Friday morning. Just had some limited information, but that was the 3500 block of South Larch Avenue. What we found out, it was a couple that was arguing inside an apartment. The guy went outside, fired a gun several times in the air, and then took off. So we know who he is, but he still hasn't been found yet.
What time was the 22nd in Cleveland one?
That was about 9 p.m. on Sunday.
And then for Thursday robbery, what time and where was that
I don't think we had, let me look here. That was about 3 p.m. on Thursdays when that robbery took place.
and where was it?
Near 10th and Indiana. It wasn't really specific, so somewhere in that area. Get everything?